There are so many opportunities for artists in Indiana. And so with me today, I have Art, who is a professor. He's a director of media at the Purdue University, as well as the executive director at the Cinema Center. You have many titles and the best name ever.
You know, it's funny. When I started out as the lowly university professor over at Purdue Fort Wayne, I would have never guessed where that would take me. And, now I run a public access television station over at College TV for the College Consortium, and I'm the executive director over at Cinema Center. We had a fabulous hobnobbing this past weekend.
I know it to be true. Welcome back, Art.
Yeah,
first and foremost. Yes. So tell me, how did hobnobbing go?
It went great. Hobnobbing brings such energy to the filmmaking community here in Fort Wayne, and first of all, the co-chairs Alex Watson, Christy Hilly, Amanda Hilly put together a fabulous festival. 128 films, all of them screened. They're still available online for just a couple more weeks now. But they also brought filmmakers from out of town and local filmmakers together, and we did workshops and just kind of spurred a lot of creativity, got people talking about different kind of stories they could tell. Rocky Walls from Hoodoc, which is an Indiana-based streaming service, was there talking about nonfiction narrative, and it was just so much fun and so much creativity flowing through Cinema Center this past weekend.
So much, and I love that for the first time this year, an Indiana-made film premiered as the first film of the festival. How exciting. Tell me about that.
It's amazing when you get to celebrate local filmmakers because, the fact is that a lot of people have this kind of sense of, if you're going to make movies, then you got to go to New York or Chicago or LA or, Vancouver. Right. But there's so much energy here going on in the Fort Wayne community and so many talented people who are telling stories that are nonfiction stories about, great Indiana people, but also fiction stories and, comedies and sci-fi films and all of these kind of cool things that, we're not necessarily known for it here in Indiana, but we should be. We should be developing more of these artists. Being a professor over at Purdue Fort Wayne has allowed me to see almost now 10 years of students come through, talented students with the ability to create and do these kinds of things. And it's still funny to me that when I introduce myself as the person who teaches the film and television production classes at Purdue Fort Wayne, people are like, they've got film and television production classes at Purdue Fort Wayne?
Right. Like, what is happening? Which you're so right, because the opportunities are there, the talent is there, but it's just a matter of understanding the resources and how to connect it. Part of it has to do with networking, part of it has to do with available opportunities, and then of course, honing in on those skills. So let's dive deeper about what are the opportunities here in Indiana.
Well, Indiana State Legislature just passed a series of tax credits that people could get up to 30% of their production budget from the Indiana State Legislature. But beyond that, it's the community of people, right? The fact is that, stories don't happen. They're told, and storytellers have to get together. And, I always joke with my students, when you see the credits roll, you never just see one name, right? And so, what it takes is, these people, these incredible storytellers connecting with one another and saying, okay, I have a project that I've written and I want to direct, but you have a project you've written and want to direct. Why don't I be the cinematographer on your project, and you could be the editor on my project? And, continue to grow these networks and build these connections and have these kinds of moments. Over at Cinema Center, we have a filmmaker membership now, and we have filmmaker explicit events where you can come. We showed Marcel the Shell a couple of weeks ago, and we had the production designer for Marcel the Shell come in and do a Q&A afterwards, because I bet you most people in Fort Wayne don't know what a production designer does.
Yeah, there's so many intricate and important roles that all come together and culminate this amazing production. And we have to hit on, so over the weekend, through all of the film festival and all the exciting moments, you actually heard from the director of development for Jamie Lee Curtis. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for us to take advantage of, like I said, the state legislature, but also to let some of these storytellers shine, because they just walked around a building for 4 days in Cinema Center. I know they're here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it's a call to action. If you are talented and you have the skill set and you are creative and you are working on projects, this is the guy to talk to. You know, we have to start making this thing happen and collaborating. So thank you, Art, for coming in. Amazing stuff that you shared today. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it whenever I can because I believe in this group. I like I said, I saw them walking around Cinema Center and I saw their films and they screened and they were juried as part of the festival. These films are quality films and these are quality filmmakers with stories to tell and to tell right here in Fort Wayne.
Yes, thank you. Stories to tell, telling the stories right here in Fort Wayne. Great information. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be right back.